Hey guys, it's time for another review, and today I will be taking a look at Rabbids Go Home for the Nintendo Wii. Now, you may have already heard of this game because it's actually been getting some pretty good press coverage, like it's made by Ubisoft, which they make good games, can't diss Ubisoft at all. Great Canadian developers. There were lots of already positive reviews out there giving it 8 out of 10s and stuff. So I was fairly interested to pick this game up, so I asked for it for Christmas. I got it. I actually recorded a FIMS of this game, which was terrible, and I never released it because it was just bad. But yeah, so pretty much the game, it's just sounding like it'd be perfect for me. It's wacky, it's funny, it's kind of like platforming, racing, action, stuff like that. And it has some problems. I honestly wouldn't say it's as good as everyone else is saying. There are quite a few flaws with it. Okay, so to start out with the actual design, to start out with the actual presentation of the game, I gotta say, for a lot of people saying, oh, it's the funniest game of the year, it really isn't. I really like the Rayman Raven Rabbids series. Well, I didn't play TV Party, I only played 1 and 2. But 1 and 2, they were both solid, funny, good minigame compilations. I can't diss the ones. I haven't played the third one. But. So, when I played this, I gotta say, the Rabbids, they're just not funny in this one. Seriously, I think part of... I was talking about this with Link's Apprentice 100 on Wii Speak, and he had a good point. The Rabbids aren't that funny, and part of the reason I think that is because Ubisoft focuses so much attention on the Rabbids. Part of the reason the Rayman Raven Rabbids, or the Rabbids in the Triple R games were so funny was because they weren't the main character. The main character was still Rayman. So you still had the awesome protagonist Rayman. Then the Rabbids were just there on the sidelines. But now that they're the center of attention, you just realize without Rayman there, they're just really not funny. The Rabbids really aren't that funny. But this game does have a few funny moments in it, and all the funny moments come in involving the humans. And again, this backs up the theory that the humans are just there, they're just there, and yet they're the funniest thing. The game has all these little parodies and sort of pokes at modern day society, and they're actually decently funny. Still not as funny as I was hoping, but they kind of give you a little chuckle. Yeah, kind of like that. But the Rabbids, they just aren't funny. They aren't even all that wacky in this one. It's oh my god, it's two Rabbids in a shopping cart going around grabbing random stuff. Well, that's pretty wacky. They actually don't do a whole lot of wacky stuff. Most of the thing, what Ubisoft considers wacky in this game is what they steal. So it's oh, yeah, it's funny because the Rabbids are stealing a dog when dogs are supposed to be pets and that stuff. But stuff like that just isn't funny. Really kind of disappointing. The graphics look okay. It actually looks fairly cool. The models all have this nice little sort of presentation to them. The audio actually is pretty cool in the game. The game, it did something that's kind of hard to explain. You have to play the game yourself to actually realize this. But they did, say you walk into an area somewhere and there's music playing in the background and you're not really listening to the music, so it just kind of sounds like it's muttering stuff out, yet you can still hear that it's music. That's kind of like what the audio is. You go around, you'll hear various music, and it's just the music gets quieter the farther away you are, and closer you are, it gets louder. And it really does have that sort of muttering effect. The Rabbids really aren't paying attention to it, which I know it doesn't sound all that amazing, but it's actually pretty cool. It actually just adds a nice little element to the fact that you're playing as the Rabbids. The actual Rabbids theme song is pretty stupid. You guys can just like, you guys can just find it yourself, but it's actually really annoying. Like, it's not so much annoying as it's just overplayed. Like, yeah. So the game also does have some presentation problems with the loading screens. I just remembered, and Ubisoft did something with the loading screens that I really don't approve of. Is the fact that they try to disguise the loading screen as this whole little scene of the Rabbids going down a sewer on a mattress. Now, I thought, okay, that's better than just having a screen that says loading, when really it isn't. Because that means every single time you have to enter a level, leave a level, enter an area, leave an area, do something, do stuff like that. You have to watch a clip of the Rabbids going down a sewer on a mattress, which isn't funny, but just annoying. And then sometimes, depending on how long the loading screen is, after that clip plays, you're still gonna get just a plain loading screen. I'm like, okay, what's the point of having the clip then? All the clip does is make the loading screens even longer. Why couldn't you, it would be better just to leave it on the blank screen that says loading, and has the little two rabbits on it. Like, it's just something like that. I just thought that was a pretty dumb idea. The controls work okay. There's not really any problems with them. I wasn't sure how they were gonna do it, because it controls, you control a standard 3D character, but you actually have to hold down the A button to accelerate. So when I heard that, I thought, oh, it's gonna control like a car, right? No, you still control like a basic 3D character, which is good. Kind of weird, but okay. There isn't a jump in the game, which actually kind of confused me, because it actually looked like, I don't know, for some reason I just thought there would be a jump in the game. Seems that a lot of games recently, I keep on buying them expecting to have a jump, but they don't. You shake the Wiimote to do this sort of roar attack. It's weird, but pretty cool. All it does is make you knock things down and stuff. You can do a little boost thing by doing a drift Mario Kart style. You can shoot bunnies by pointing at the screen and pressing the B button. The controls work okay. There's no real major problems to them. I couldn't really complain about them. But as for the actual gameplay itself, the entire game is pretty much just going around these stereotypical areas, as you can see in the picture, a shopping mall, and stealing as much access stuff, XS. That's actually how they say it in the game. Capital X, capital S stuff. Excess stuff. I thought that's kind of cool. And as you probably have already heard from the story is collect all this stuff and build a ladder to the moon. Which, that's okay. The problem with that is it gets pretty boring. Well, I'm going to say this right now. My biggest gripe with the game is it is repetitive as all hell. And I know that Nightwing, for example, Nightwing 101, he said, oh, it's only repetitive because the game's super long. No, it's just downright repetitive. After literally the 7th level, you should pretty much be bored with the formula. This isn't gonna be that type of game that you're gonna get addicted to. I can say that right now. This won't be the type of game you're gonna get addicted to. This is that type of game you'll put on your shelf, and then every month, every second month, you'll come and it's oh, Rabbids Go Home. Haven't played that for a while. You'll play 2 levels, put it away. It's gonna be that type of game, which isn't necessarily bad. The game does have, other than that basic gameplay, there is a Rabbid editor, which is actually pretty dang cool. At first, I didn't see what was so great about it. A lot of people have been giving a lot of praise. At first, I didn't see what was so cool about it, because your features are very limited at first, but then you unlock all the extra features. Once you get a good amount of features and stuff, you can actually do some really cool stuff there. I really thought the editor was pretty dang good. You also get something called the Rabbids channel, which before I played the game, I never heard anybody mention, which I thought was really weird. But yeah, I didn't actually know that there was a Rabbids channel. All it does is it lets you share your Rabbids with the world and enter them in contests. Pretty cool stuff. And that's pretty much the entire game, just running around collecting stuff. Like it's fun to collect stuff, but it just gets way too repetitive. Like, and then you've got the Rabbit Editor, which really, it's kind of cool just to see the stuff you can come up with, but like there's no mini games, which I actually thought was a pretty missed opportunity. Like, still, just something else would have worked. The game, it's good. It's solid. It's made by Ubisoft. You can expect decent quality stuff from them. And so I have to give it a 7 out of 10. Don't rent it. Renting does nothing. You either buy it or you're scared.